Welcome, everyone. We are live and it is Thursday. Yikes. Man, it just flew by, hey? The week has flown by. It has sprouted wings. Like, I don't know if anybody else feels that. Like, it's just so fast. Like, it was just Monday. And now we're here. Tomorrow is Friday. Like, how did it get here so quickly? Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. You know? That's what it feels like. A little bit has been restless all night. And I don't know why. Trying to get a comfortable position, I suppose. But anyway, in my DMs, someone asked, "What do you do, Angela, when? Dot, dot, dot." I can't divulge what they asked, but I'm going to say this to you. It doesn't matter what comes after the dot, dot, dot. The process is always the same. The process will always be the same. The process will always be the same. It starts with clarity. What or who do you want to become? See, I know sometimes we get stuck on that because we say, well, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. But what proves to you that you are? Security does. So it's not. Money represents something. It represents security. It represents no worries. Well, at least not about bills, right? It represents safety. Because where are you living? What neighborhood are you in? Do you have the money to be somewhere else? See, so money represents something. Money stands for something. And in some cases, it stands for power. So we must always become clear. We must have clarity about what it is we want to become. Because when you say, I just want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, I want to have abundance in my life, there's no clarity there. What would you be doing if you were wealthy? That's what you're actually looking for, which is step 2. What would it be like if? Now, this is how I explained it. If you don't know what you want to become, start at step 2. Why would you do that? Because everything that we do becomes an image. It becomes an image. It becomes something you see. So, if you use step 2, which is to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. If you start there, you begin to play through the scenarios in your mind's eye. And one of them is going to feel best. One of them is going to feel most natural. And from the one that feels the most natural, you will generate what? Step 1, which is to know what you want to become. Clarity. See, you can also use step 3 to begin. What would it feel like to you if you knew who you wanted to become? What would that feel like to you? It would bring you a sense of what? Peace. Would it not? Knowing who you wanted to become and you became it, it would bring some peace of mind. Would it not? So you can start at step 3 to accomplish step 1. You see? I want you to know this because everything we do becomes an image at the end of the day. So you can use the principle of gender. You generate an idea. That's what's so beautiful about being able to use the principles. You can use them in any fashion because they're always going to give you the end result, which is what? Peace of mind. That's always the end result, you know? That's what anybody wants. Peace of mind. Comfort. That's what people want. That's the end result. So when Neville Goddard says to go to the end, he's saying to get there by using the principles. You want to be something, but you don't know what that is. You say, well, what do I do when? What do you do when you need a change in your life? That change can take on many forms. You begin with clarity. So everybody's different. I see images last. I had to do a planogram last night for Father's Day. Oddly enough, the Father's Day specials happened to be whiskey. And so it was, I wonder if I said too much. I don't know. But I had to do it. I was given free reign. And all I knew was there was this one particular brand that I wanted to be the focal point because I love the color. And it was very eye-catching. And I said, I knew that's what I wanted. I wanted that to be the anchor, the focal point that grounds everything. When you look at the display, bam, it's in your face. That's the one. Because that's the one I'm drawn to. And I'm the one building it, so I will build it to match. Now, I knew that was the end result, that was the focal point. And so, by the end of it, a pattern began to emerge. And I shuffled things around to give me the image I had in my mind's eye that wasn't there to begin with. A completed image wasn't there. But it was. All I knew was who I wanted to be the focal point. That's all I knew. Sometimes you just got to know a little bit. What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it? You might not know the whole story. You might only know a paragraph, but that paragraph is what stirs you. What is it that you want to become? You see, we have to remove the the fear of not being it. Now my store manager could come in and say, "Oh, I don't like it at all. Change it." He may or may not say that. And because there was no plan for it to say it has to follow this. There wasn't one. So I had to build it. If he doesn't like it, it's because it doesn't match his vision. He didn't tell me what his vision was. He gave me free rein to do what I wanted to do. So you see, as long as you have some kind of a general idea of what you want to become, give it a moment. And as you start to, because I started to put things on the shelf, and as I put things on the shelf, then I saw what I wanted. I said, oh, see, because what you do, Neville Goddard says you toy with it. Toy with what it is you want to become. Play around with it. So that's what I did. I just knew one thing. Just one. What the focal point would be. What was my favorite one? That's all I knew. And I built everything based upon that. My favorite thing. And if I do say so myself, it is rather lovely. My design is rather lovely. But that's just my opinion. Because it's my task. So you see, what do you do when? You start with what it is you like. What do you want to become? There's something about you that you like in there. But Angela, what if I don't like myself at all? Well, then you need to take a moment and find something about yourself that you like. Listen, if you had webbed toes, which some people do, they make better swimmers, allegedly. If you like swimming, well, then you start there. You like that. That's you. You don't judge you. You just say, this is what I've got. How do I put it to the best use? Sometimes we feel like we're going to fail. Like I said, if the store manager comes in and he doesn't like what I've done, it's not because he didn't like me and what I did. It's just a matter of he did not convey what he wanted his vision to be. So I built my vision. You see, sometimes we're afraid to build our own vision because we think it'll be judged by someone else. When in actuality, it is your vision. So what do you do when you don't have a clear image of your vision? Start with the things you like. Why? Because they are natural to you. Neville Goddard says it takes on the tones of reality, the naturalness. So if you start with what you like doing, well, that's natural and doesn't feel too far-fetched. And then you ask yourself, well, see, now I'd naturally be doing that. I'd naturally be doing that. And that's where you start with what you would be naturally doing. Why? Because then you don't have to pretend. You don't have to convince yourself that, oh my God, you have to pretend. So that's what I'm telling you this morning. You start with what you do know, which is what you like. And it's okay if you like many things. There were many of those products last night that I'm like, oh wow, this is gorgeous. Like whoever does their marketing, right, for the product, the way they designed the bottle, the colors they chose. It's when you put yellow, orange, and red together, you think of fire, do you not? At least I do. And then from there, I normally see the phoenix. Oh, why? Because those are the colors that the phoenix represents. So anytime you see a phoenix, that phoenix has risen from the ashes, remade itself. So when you see red, orange, and yellow together, it to me denotes a new beginning. Those colors do. A new beginning, especially from fire, right? A new beginning. And so it makes you wonder how people choose to do what they do. Like marketing 101. How do they choose their colors? Well, that depends on who's making it. What are they moved by? They go with what they're moved by first. And then you begin to think of who else is going to be moved by this. As within, so without. If they are not moved to act by their own design, you're not going to be inspired to be moved by it either. Because it has to first move you. So what do you do when? You start with what moves you, what you enjoy. And that will lift your mood. And when you begin to feel better because the mood has lifted, what do you think happens to you? Now you become this creative force deliberately. So it's always going to be the same process. Doesn't matter what it is you want to become. It's the same process. What moves you? What inspires you? Start there. It is easier. There's no resistance there. But when you sit there, man, I don't know what I like. I don't even know where to begin. What's happening there? It's like you're rolling uphill. Be like water and roll downhill. Roll downhill. I trust that makes sense to you. What do you do when? It is always the same. You want to end up with a very clear image. Because the clearer the image, now voila, it leaves an impression upon you. And as within, so without. You bring about that impression. The impression is the cause. Well, it is a cause. The cause is you, which will bring about the effect. And what is the effect? The way that you want to feel. I trust that makes sense for you. I trust you will test it out. Oh, I just opened my eyes. Hello, Cody. Now, if y'all don't know about Cody, you should. His music is spectacular. And let me tell you something. When he does the choreography, because I watch him. I love watching him dance. When he does the choreography, you know that this is what I say to you. You might not always know the end result fully, but if you know how that piece of music makes you feel, you now begin to move. And as you begin to move because of the way the music makes you feel, now the choreography will come together. You just have to start. Cody, he hollering for you today. You just have to start with how you feel. I don't know how I want to feel, Angela. Yes, you do. You want to feel better than what you presently do. That much you know. Run with that one. Yesterday, I have a young man who comes in and he's in a wheelchair. Oh, God, talk about putting your foot in your mouth, Angela. And he knew I didn't mean anything by it. And It was I just said it, run with that, because that's what I always say, you run with that feeling, you run with it. And that's what I said to him. I looked at him and he looked at me and he laughed and he goes, "I feel you. I know what you're saying." And I was like, ah, I did a face palm. I was like, I didn't even think about that. Like, he goes, "It's okay." All right. And why did I tell you about him? Because yesterday I saw him out of the corner of my eye. He had just left the store before I started my shift. And before I get out of the car, I always check my eyes, my nose, my teeth. I'm good to go. You just make sure, right? And I heard somebody say to me, "Oh, you look gorgeous." I look out the window, it's him. He came all the way from across the parking lot to tell me that. And he talked to me before. Now, I was late, but I was like, "Pfft, I don't care." Because he came all the way to see me. And then another man yesterday, he always comes in. He said, "Can I have your name tag?" He goes, "Just please trust me." I said, "Sure." He left his house with a little tiny white sticker, just a little tiny one. He covered up the A on the end of my name. He says, "Because," he goes, "you have no idea how you make me feel when I come into this store." He goes, "You truly are an angel." I was like, so that's on my name tag now, because he covered up the little A on the end. Listen, he sat is to leave your house with a tiny little sticker that fits over that letter. You see what I tell you about thought, about forethought based upon the mood? Just being you influences people. But the fact that he had the boldness to do it, that's what I'm talking about. You see, sometimes we are compelled to act in a particular way. We just are. And that is based upon the mood. Those two people totally made my evening. Like, seriously, do you know what it is to wheel yourself across the parking lot just to come say hi to me? That made my night. When I got to, that's exactly how I walked in the door, with that feeling. Wow, what a beautiful spirit he is. And what sustained the night for me was the other gentleman. That's why I say to you, you might not always know the end result fully, but start with what you love to do. And I love customer service. I love customer service. That much I know. So start with that. That's why I'm saying you have to start with you. So what do you do when? What do you do? You start with what you know that you like. It might seem silly to you to like it, because that's how you're judging yourself, right? So stop judging yourself. Bad boy. Bad girl, don't judge yourself. Start with the simplest of things. What do I like? And as you move from there, because you will be inspired, the mood changed. So your thoughts are going to change to match the mood. So if you now start with the mood of what do I like, you're going to spread from there. Those thoughts along the lines of what you like, what moves you. Well, they're going to start to flow from you and begin to build a picture, right? And as you build that picture, you become more stirred up, more aroused to act. but you'll act according to the mood that stimulated you in the first place. And then what happens to you? Then you have moved yourself from where you were to where you wanted to be. But notice how you did it. Mentally. Mentally. And so now, mentally brings about the physical. Let's get physical, right? You gotta be mental first. Because then you will recreate what's there mentally. So today, my beautiful friends, start with the simplest of things. These are a few of my favorite things. Right? Start there. And you'll begin to build that mental image of who you want to become. Oh, yes. Start with what you like and what you enjoy without judgment. Do you want some everything bagel bread? Sure. Pop their food out of the fridge for me. Okay. Thanks, sweetie. Sorry, love. Just do yours. You're okay. But thank you. See, someone woke up this morning and said, Ma, what do you want for breakfast? Here's what I'm making for me. Do you want me to make one for you? This is what I'm talking about. We didn't just get here overnight. I got here because I keep telling you the same thing. What is it that you enjoy doing? Listen, I enjoy peace and quiet. You'd never know. You would never know that I enjoy peace and quiet. Because, well, he's always singing early in the morning. But start with what you enjoy and allow the picture to take shape. Allow it to take shape. Think about it for a moment. Good, bad, or indifferent. If you started with what you didn't like, oh, you're going to end up with the same result, which is what? Building something. Just so you know. So you might as well deliberately do the good thing. Why focus on the stuff that makes you angry? Hello? Because then what happens? You're angry. And then what happens when you're angry? Ooh, somebody gonna get a hurt on. That's what happens when we're angry. So go the other way. Because regardless of if you go the I don't like this way or oh, I like this way, you're going to get the same result. You are going to build from there. Which way you choose, you will build. Choose wisely. Be like the wise man and build your house where? Upon the what now? Build upon a solid foundation. Why is that? Because let me tell you something, when the wind begins to blow and the water begins to lap at your foundation, you better be strong. Strong in what? Not strong as in, grrr, I got these muscles, which way to the beach? Not strong like that. Strong in the knowledge of what? Strong in the knowledge of who and what you are, knowing that you can change. That's where your strength is. You're not putting your strength in what man can do, because you and I always change our minds. But you're putting your strength in what? The stuff that is secure. And what is secure? The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As within, so without, as above, so below. Everything moves. Nothing stands still. And it moves between two poles, which is what? It's similar nature. Seed bringing forth fruit. It will move from seed to fruit, polarity. And the rhythm or pattern in which that seed moves, you will be able to identify it. And it will cause you to bring about an effect, which will do what? Generate an idea, a thought, words, actions, thereby bringing about your destiny. So start with what you like. Start with what you enjoy without judgment. Who is here? Because your girl is going to go. Hey, Cyber. Hey, Melly Mel. And that other mystery person in these YouTube streets. I see you. Thank you for being here. Yoda Green, you are here today in the Twitter sphere. The Twitter sphere. I can't even say it. I see you. Who's here with us on Fanbase? Michael is here. Moon is here. And Dolphin Duck. Ray Ray, Cody, Oracle Treehouse, and the lovely Miss McQueen. I see you all. Cody, I won't come on tour with you and be a backup singer. I don't know about the dancing part. Because, that's not my strong suit. But I can come and cheer you on. I'll be in the front row hollering, "That's my baby!" You know what? Let me not make you look bad. Cody, drop your website in the chat there for me, please, so I can tell everybody. I'll give you a couple minutes to do it. But just to say thank you all for being here on this glorious day. We're not going to play the chime this morning because we got chicken on the go. Ow. Chicken on the run. Shoot. That's actually a restaurant. Chicken on the run. But test it out for yourselves and see it. Test it, right? Well, you must test yourself to see if you're holding fast to the truth. Yes? So here's how I'm going to spell it for you, everybody. CODE, theone.com/music. Again, so it's Cody, but he spells it beautifully. CODE, theone.com/music. Look it up one more time for your mind. Cody, theone.com/music. CODE, baby. Cody. Now, let me tell you something. It is beautiful music. It really is. It is. And I see if you were on Fanbase, you'd be privy to watching him go live as he rehearses. And listen, when I tell you I watch him rehearse, you see the law at work. You see the law, you see the principles at work, because he is bringing what is he bringing? He's bringing what is within to the outside. Anywho, CodyTheOne.com/music. CODE. Ow, baby. Anyway, I love you all. I do. I love you all. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, Friday, baby. Ow. I look forward to seeing you all. And you know what time it is, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Fanbase. I love you all, my beautiful friends. And with that, I'm closing all the rooms because I'm a little bit behind time. So Fanbase, I'm not going to linger with you this morning. I'm not going to linger with you this morning. I shan't tarry with you. But just know that I love you. Okay? Test it. Start with what you love. That's what you do when you don't know where to begin. Start with what you love. And if you say you don't love nothing, lies you tell. You love something. We all do. Trust me on that. Because it is what moves us every day. Anywho, don't let me prattle on. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Much love, everybody. Much love to you.